What's going on, guys? Today on MinorBeef, a new MacBook Air, a new Mac Pro, a complete redesign of iOS, and OSX 10.9 Mavericks. Apple announced the new MacBook Air which will be using Intel's new Haswell processors. Graphics will also be getting a lot better, as Apple say that we will see a 40% boost in graphic speed. The MacBook Air still won't be able to compete with machines that use a dedicated chip. However, we could see a big change for gaming. The battery has also improved on the 11-inch, which will change from 5 hours to 9 hours, and the 13-inch will change from 7 hours to 12 hours. Apple unveiled a redesign of its high-end desktop, which now comes with a dual AMD GPU. Phil Schiller claims that it will deliver 7 teraflops of performance, compared with the current Mac Pro, which delivers 2.7 teraflops. With all this power, Apple claimed you'll be able to edit full-resolution 4K videos with rendering effect in the background seamlessly, and still have enough power to connect up to 3 high-resolution 4K displays. The new Mac Pro certainly looks different, as everything centers around a unified thermal core, which allows a more lean and much more streamlined design. The Mac Pro is 9.9 inches tall and has a diameter of 6.6 inches. It supports up to 6 Thunderbolt 2s, 4 USB 3.0s and 1 HDMI 1.4 port. Now, the iOS has looked the same since the first iPhone back in 2007, and finally it's getting a brand new look. It looks different, but still familiar. Apple has now redesigned its icons with a flatter and more stylized look, keeping the same structure of the iOS. The new iOS has a number of small noticeable tweaks. For example, the classic slider unlock function has been revamped. Also, fonts have been slimmed down and reduced in size. In addition, iOS7 will now be motion censored, so while moving around, your icons will also move with you and you'll be able to see the background moving. There's a new translucent control panel which slides up from the bottom for quick access to frequently used settings. And folders no longer top out at 16 apps, which means you can put up to 50 apps in them if you want. The notification center has changed, which now means that you'll be able to access your notifications on your lock screen. So notification syncing between devices is now enabled, so you don't need to dismiss the same update multiple times. It also features 3 tables: today, all, and missed, so you can always keep up to date on what's happening with your day. For example, birthdays, appointments, weather, you get the gist. It's a bit similar to Google Now, but it's changed as has everything else with iOS 7. So there's a pull down menu which is transparent, and there's new fonts and swipe movements. Apple have taken a page from WebOS and Windows Phone in regards to multitasking. It's been made so much better. No longer is it a list of 4 apps at the bottom of the screen, but now when you double tap your home button, you'll be able to see 3 previews of the open apps and scroll horizontally. Changing settings in iOS has always been a massive hassle. You always have to go back to settings, it's long. However, they've changed it. Now you can drag up from any screen and change the common settings that you used. For example, brightness, torch, airplane mode. It will be simple. Now there's a new feature that I'm quite excited about: AirDrop for iOS. It takes its name from the OSX application AirDrop. However, it's only going to be available on the iPhone 5. However, Apple say it will be able to be used system-wide. So the new iOS will work for cars. How this basically will work is it will mirror your iPhone on displays found in many cars. So there'll be menus, maps, Siri, messaging, and much more, all available directly from the dashboard. And finally, Apple unveiled its streaming music services, free for everyone to use. However, there will be ads, and you need to subscribe to get rid of them. But it offers radio stations similar to those offered by other streaming services. The big focus in Mavericks is navigation for the first time. No longer will your windows clutter the desktop, as there are now tabs which can be used easily and efficiently. Also, Apple have introduced tags which allow simple searching and organization. Multiple displays have always been frustrating to use in macOS, but finally Apple have decided to fix things in Mavericks. Now you can have the menu bar and the Apple Dock on both screens. Also, this will allow the ability to run full screen apps. Improved iOS notifications now come to OSX. Now you can reply directly to emails, FaceTime and even iMessages, rather than having to open the specific app. You'll be able to receive push notifications from your iOS device. Basically, anything you'll receive from your iOS lock screen. Apple spoke about Safari's browser performance. They showed a set of benchmarks that put Safari on top of other browsers. Now, there will also be a new sidebar which will hold bookmarks, but it will also integrate reading lists, as well as links shared by friends on Twitter and LinkedIn. Safari is also supposed to cut down on power. It does this by directing power to apps or windows that are focused on. Apple have across the board redesigned most of their basic apps. Calendar is flatter and softer, and the same goes for Game Center and messaging apps. To recap, we didn't get any big hardware announcements like the much rumoured iWatch or iPhone 5S, but what we did get was a completely redesigned Mac Pro. Also, Apple decided to scrap the Big Cat naming scheme and rather go for a California-inspired one, hence the Maverick. Also, several apps got a much needed feature upgrade. To me, the WWDC 2013 was about Apple playing catch up. The redesign of the iOS and the OSX brought a breath of fresh air, bringing Apple's software up to speed with its hardware. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and if you liked, subscribe to the channel.